Hey guys, Brian Karp, Sales Giant, Literary Millionaire, Mailbox Money Update video. So I put a video out about, 2 months ago talking about Lake Grove has now passed an ordinance saying that if you are a landlord and you have a rental property, you need to apply for permits. This is all brand new. The Village of Lake Grove prior to this did not require rental permits. So I am in the process of getting my rental permits for our Lake Grove rentals. And so far it's been a very good experience. And I thought I would create this video just to break down a little bit of what needs to be done. So what they are doing is you can go online and get an application. What they're asking you to do is draw a floor plan of the house. It doesn't need to be done with an architect or anything fancy. I literally sent one of our staff there, and they drew basically on a piece of loose leaf paper a floor plan where the doors are, where the windows are, where the basement entrance is, stuff like that. And then they just put in there the dimensions of the room, which we did with a tape measure. So that was super easy. Also in the application, we had to list who the managing entity is, which is the Karp family. So that was pretty easy. But if you have a property management company, you could list them there. Also, they wanted to know who is living in the property and all of the cars that are there as well. So that was relatively easy to get the license plates, and you should have it on your lease who's living in the property. Okay. Now, day of the inspection, we always get concerned and scared anytime I've had a building inspection or dealing with the town or the village for any of our properties. I always don't sleep good at night. But this went very well. They rolled up in a Lake Grove, I want to say it was an electric car. It might have been like one of those mini cars, but it was wrapped in Lake Grove. Not as nice as the Sales Giant Coldwell Banker wrap car. And what were they looking for? Well, I got ahead of time what they were looking for, and it's very similar if you've ever applied for something called a CEU. CEU is a certificate of existing use. So if you own a property in any township and there's no CO for it, Brookhaven, this happens a lot because of the fire and the flood. In the Village of Lake Grove, this could happen because it may have been built prior to COs. You could apply for a CEU. So it seems like they're using that breakdown for the application for the rental permit. So I actually have it in front of me, so I will go through them with you. And I think we passed. There was one thing we needed to tweak, which is we had to have sheetrock above our boilers. Don't quote me, I want to say it's there's a certain amount of thickness that you have to have, but that is something that I see all the time. I even see that on home inspections. So it was just foresight on us, but we had one of our carpenters go there and they put sheetrock above the boiler. So that was relatively easy. The other things was smoke detectors. Smoke detectors on each floor and in all sleeping areas. What I always recommend is when you're going to deal with something like this, you guys should pick up extra smoke detectors just in case your tenant doesn't have one. The second thing is fire rated doors for garage. So none of the Karp rentals have garages, which is great. They're all kind of little cottages. Okay. Railings. So railings, steps over 18 inches. Okay. GFIs. So those are outlets, ground fault receptacles. Oh my God, my dad would have killed me. I actually went to BOCES for electrical for 4 years, so I really should have known that. And you need to have them in any of the bathrooms, kitchen, and washer and dryer areas. So we were fine with that. It was no issue with that. Underwriter certification, they didn't ask for that. I guess that's more CEU if you're doing an electrical upgrade. I'm just reading here. When you're doing your CEU, you would need a survey, but this wasn't a CEU. And so really basically what it was, if you want to sum the whole thing up, it was super easy because the houses that we have in the Village of Lake Grove are little cottages. So there was no step ups. So that was easy. But if you have any like railings going downstairs to the basement, or if you have any, I guess, like big stoops, you would need a railing there. You need GFIs, which is relatively easy. Any licensed electrician can do that for you if you don't have. The one that we didn't have was just sheetrock above the boiler. They also want fire rated doors, which you should have them from the boiler room to the house. And then proper egress, right? We had unfinished basement in one of our properties, so there was no issue with that. And the other one we have an outside entrance for the basement. So if there's any living space or if there's any bedrooms or even like rec areas, you need to have proper area where someone can get out, God forbid there was a fire. Other than that, it went very, very well. If you have any other questions or anything else, I can let you guys know once I get my permits. There are some fees that you do have to pay. I believe I said that in the last video, so don't quote me. But I know it's a little more expensive the first time, and then going forward, it gets cheaper and cheaper. I want to say it was $1,000 and then $500. All right. I'm your boy. I'm the Sales Giant. If you have any questions regarding rental property, buying, selling, investing, developing, anything to do with residential, commercial real estate in Long Island,